3, 2, 1. What's going on, everyone? You're watching Ash on Comics. My name is Ash, and it is Story Time Live. Good to see you all here. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. It's your time every Tuesday, Thursday night where Ash blathers on about a bunch of nonsense, talking comics if there's something to talk about. And, then we read some comic books. YouTube is telling me that I'm not getting enough data passing through. So hopefully you guys are hearing everything okay. You guys let me know how the audio is or video or what have you. Let's see who's joined us tonight. We got Melissa first, keeping up her streak. It's definitely there's definitely no one that shows up first more than Melissa. Melissa, here's to you. Cheers. I am drinking a classic Heineken tonight as my beverage of choice. There's a cheap $10 12-pack. When I drink cheap beer, I drink imported Euro beer. Or Mexican beer made in Canada. Never drink cheap American beer. But drink good. If you're drinking good beer, drink American beer. Zach Richmond is in the house, and Dragon Majesty. Good to see you guys. RDV's, he's all set. Start the music, monkey. Wow. I sent an invite to RDV to join me tonight, but he didn't want to, so he basically gave you guys a big middle finger. No, he didn't. I just made that up, but essentially he did. I don't know why it's telling me there's errors, not receiving enough video for smooth streaming. It really annoys me when it does that. I can't detect anything on my side, but hopefully it's okay. Snatch Face is here. He says, "Sup, everyone. Music make me want to take some ecstasy and get some glow sticks." Is that what they play at the raves you went to? This is just little chip tunes. Ronnie says, I was worried. I was scared I was late. Only started 5 minutes ago. Dragon Master saying he can hear fine. That's good. Let me know if things go bad. It's still saying errors. I don't know what the deal is. YouTube, what do you mean you're not receiving enough? I rebooted my machine. I'm plugged in hardwired to Ethernet. Who knows? RDB says, I'm all hyped up. I just finished watching the 1997 Extreme Ghostbusters pilot episode over on the official Ghostbusters YouTube channel. RDV is a big Ghostbusters fan, in case you guys didn't catch that. Snatchface says, if you're gonna cheap, you gotta go PBR ice cold. I can't remember the last time I saw PBR in the stores. I don't think they sell it in California. I do remember seeing it when I lived in Colorado. I can't remember having PBR. Or if I did, I certainly don't remember what it tastes like. Heineken is not as good as I remember. Or maybe it's because it's in a can. Some cans, some brewers, they make these cans that have like the plastic coating and it for the beer, or maybe it's a silicone coating. I don't know what it's. Some coating so you don't get the tin canny taste. I used to be a big beer snob. I always drink beer out of a bottle. Except for Sapporo, because Sapporo had steel cans, and then they were like coated, and you never had that taste in the Sapporos. But nowadays, there's more and more beers that you can get out of the can that aren't bad. But this Heineken still reminds me of like the old school. I was like, man, I remember having this in bottles and it not being. Not that this is really bad. This tastes like I'm drinking Coors or something. But whatever, it's fine. It's fine. Ed says, I'm at work, so freshly squeezed orange juice and some orange wedges. They have fresh squeezed orange juice at your work? Jeez, when do you work at a grove? Orange grove? And you have orange wedges? Like you're just drinking a glass of freshly squeezed orange juice, and you have like an orange that's been sliced up into wedges, and you're just like, I just consume orange and nothing else. Ed literally is the orange man. That's very strange. Eric is in the house. He says, I'm here. I'm keeping a low profile. Well, good to see you, Eric. I'm glad you can make it. Hopefully you'll stay for a comic tonight. This is a great comic. This is a comic I'm like, every time I get a comic, I'm like, oh, Eric's going to like this one. It's going to be up his alley. He doesn't stay. Whatever. Let's see. Ed says, canned beer, lol. I know. I used to be snobby. I do have bottled beer. I have Sam Adams in the fridge, is bottled. And I have Corona Familiar. Familiar? Is that how you pronounce it? Those are in bottles. And I got some... What's the other beer that I got? Oh, yeah, Stella Artois. And those are in cans. And I've only ever had those in bottles before, but I picked up the cans, and those are good. Like, they don't get the can taste. So, I don't know what the deal is. Let's see. Snatchface says, love Sapporo. Man, I miss drinking beer. Yeah. You gotta go responsible on the drinking, kids. Because you don't want to miss drinking. That's why I always drink responsibly, because I don't want to have to be at a point where I'm like, my dad was a big alcoholic. So I was always afraid of abusing beer, or not just abusing liquor. Let's see. Ronnie says, I'm staying hydrated with water here. I haven't had mocha coffee for over a week now. Man, you haven't had it in so long, you actually called it mocha. Something's wrong, Marania. RDV says, hey, Ash, I got oatmeal raisin cookies. Yum. PBR is gross. They make it here in Wisconsin, or at least they did. The old PBR distillery building was turned into an apartment building. It looks cool. All right. Is PBR worse than Milwaukee's Best? Because that's the beer. that's the beer, you know. You've hit a low point in your life when you're drinking. Snatchface says, you drink Coors Heavy, RDV. Enough said. Snatchface says, whoa, never had a canned Stella. Yeah, they come in skinny cans. Like Red Bulls. They don't come in like normal American little stubby fat cans like a Coca-Cola comes, like they come in the skinny energy drink type cans. And so they look a little bit more sophisticated. It really helps when you're drinking with your pinky extended. Let's see. I burned some of the snickerdoodle cookies that I baked on the other day. Ah, no, I didn't take pictures. They looked pitiful. A picture or it didn't happen. You burned the cookies? Such a... that's got to feel terrible. I feel terrible when I burn anything in the oven. And it's the sad thing about it, part of the reason I feel terrible, especially when baking, because like baking is an exact science. Baking is not like cooking. Cooking is kind of finessing, and you gotta have a feel for it. Baking is exact science. Put the ingredients together, exact, measurements, mixing just, right. You got to make sure you don't melt the butter. You got to put the cold butter, all that stuff. And then when you put it in the oven, the oven's got to be properly preheated, and you put it in for the exact amount of time, and then you pull it out. It's all about just following every step to the letter. And when you F it up, it's because you just like lost track of time or what have you, just were caught up into something. And every time I overcook or burn, if you will, cookies, I'm like kicking myself because I'm like, all I had to do was just open the oven when the timer went off. Or you forget to set a timer. That's my favorite. This is what I'm always guilty of, man, is I start something, and fortunately usually it's cooking something, so I can, because if you're baking a chicken, if you're off by 5-10 minutes, it's not a big deal. But the thing I always have is I set a timer, or I know I'm going to set a timer. So I start something. I go, okay. And then I realize it's been like a few minutes, and I'm like, wait, I never started the timer. Like, how many minutes has it been? Has it been 1 minute, or has it been 5 minutes? I'm not sure. Maybe it's like 2.5. You're just like, damn it. I do that all the time. Milwaukee's best is the world's worst, next to Keystone and PBR. I don't know, RDV. I've had Keys. I would put Milwaukee's best worse than Keystone. Come on. Doug is here. Doug Johnson, welcome, buddy. He says, drinking ice water with a couple of drops of high-potency iodine supplement. My nightly nightcap. Well, that sounds like an exciting drink, my friend. You couldn't spice it up with anything else? It's like ice water and iodine. But if that's what works for you, RDV says, beer abused me. I'm a victim. I blame the beer company. Zach is in the house. I had a whole bunch of yellow cake batter cookies with chocolate chips that I baked on Sunday. All gone now. Yellow cake batter cookies. That sounds interesting. I've never had those. Let's see. Cooking is improvisation. Baking is chemistry. I don't know if I would say cooking is... I mean, you can improv with cooking. But then, you know, there's also recipes and stuff. But it's finessing. It's very... A lot of times cooking, you can't science... I mean, you can science it out. But if you're like frying a steak, it's not a matter of... The steak goes on for this long exactly, and then you flip it. And you have to kind of understand what's happening, especially if you have different degrees. Like, I want it well done. Don't anyone that ever wants a steak well done, just give them some Spam. You're better off just eat Spam. Don't steak well done. It's garbage. Just throwing your money away. Eric Breen says Ash is mansplaining cooking. Are you assuming my gender again, Eric Breen? Ed says, Jimmy cooking steak in the oven. You saw that tweet too. I think you can technically cook steak in the oven. It's probably not the best thing to do, but you finish it in the oven. You know, a lot of fine chefs, you pan sear the steak, you know, in a super hot skillet. Get that nice hot sear on both sides, and then finish it in the oven. That's a good way to do it. That's tough though, man, because if you're not experienced at it, it's easy to overdo it. I think that's what Jimmy did. He put it in the oven, came out with something that wasn't no longer a steak. My favorite steak, it's not really a steak, but it looks like a steak. A lot of people mistake it for a steak. But it's not. It's prime rib, and that's made in the oven, 100%. It's delicious. Medium rare prime rib. Oh man, with au jus and fresh horseradish. That's one of my death row foods. Doug says I used to drink hams when I drank beer. From the land of the sky blue waters. Man, I remember the hams. That was. As a kid, I loved the Hams commercials because they were always cartoons. So I was like, Hams and the Schlitz beer because it had the bull. So bull was always crashing through the bar. Now you know you're old when you know about Hams and you know about Schlitz. I think Schlitz is still around though, but I haven't ever seen it advertised. Yeah, I haven't seen it advertised. Not in like 20 years. Snatch face. I say the worst is Natty Ice. Oh, Natty Ice. Beast Ice. Never even heard of. And Keystone. Those are the absolute worst. PBR is a poor man's Coors Light. If it's really cold or a draught, then it's great. It sucks if not. I don't know. I don't know about PBR, but I'll still take Keystone over Milwaukee's best. I noticed you didn't mention Milwaukee's best at all. Ronnie says frying a steak. I put mine under the broiler. Yeah, frying a steak. What are you talking about, Marania? You got to get that sear. You either put a steak on a hot skillet, or you put it on a hot grill. But skillet's best to get that pan sear. If you go to like a premier steakhouse, that's what you're gonna get. Snatch says, "Oh my God, the end cut of the prime rib is the best thing in life." I don't know if I've ever had the end cut, but I'm fine without the end cut. I mean, I like the edges, fine enough, but it's that red bloody meat in the middle. Oh man, I'm gonna pan sear some steaks for Valentine's Day. The wife doesn't know yet. Shh. No. If it's really Valentine's Day, she should be pan searing steaks for you. Assuming she knows how. Hopefully. What's all this oven talk? I only grill my steaks like a real man. The problem with grilling steaks is it's hard to get them to come out right. They end up overcooking on the outside and not enough on the inside. Just because the you don't have enough ambient temperature. I guess if you close the lid, it's just, yeah, it's tough. Ed says, "It's not beer, it's malt liquor." You tell him, Ed. "We're having steak and roasted veggies for Valentine's Day dinner here, Zach." Man, everyone's getting steak but me. Beast Ice is Milwaukee's best ice. I think if any beer has ice in the name, there's a problem. just no beer with ice. I don't understand. Well, in record time, I made it to the bottom of the chat. Look at that. I'm superstar. It's the challenge that makes grilling steaks fun. I guess I don't like wasting a good steak. Don't like it. No, sir. No, sir. I don't like it. Was that a good enough impression? I don't know if I did a good impression or not. Let's take a look at some comics. Comixology sale. Looks like they're having a Nova sale. Oh, look. You can get the New Warriors and some Nova books. So exciting. Nova. Some people apparently like Nova. I don't. Moving along. Let's see. I know I'm offending someone. How dare you talk trash about Nova? DC Heroes in Love sale still going on. That's a Hellboy sale. I'm not seeing anything new. Talked about these last time, so I'm not going to beleaguer the point. We still, of course, have the White Guilt sale. Apparently, if you're a fictional black character, you deserve extra attention. Because, who knows why? Why Black History Month has anything to do with fictional characters, I don't know. But apparently it does. And Transformers. Why? IDW Transformers sale. G.I. Joe. Well, I guess it's G.I. Joe and Transformers. And that's it. Who cares? Who cares? There is a Humble Bundle going on. So, thought I would point this out. It's Humanoids. Humanity first. Not exactly that Humanoids, but Humanoids, I believe, does own H1. Humanoids, I believe, is a French company. So you get the cool European comics. If you like those cool European comics, you got 20 days. You can go to humblebundle.com. Normally they do the software thing, but you get super deals. Man, I have missed out on way too many of these deals. I find out too late. But you can get crazy stuff. And I don't necessarily know what everyone's cup of tea is, so I just show you all of it. I think European graphic novels are pretty damn cool. I like how the Europeans do they're not really comics, but it's graphic storytelling, kind of like manga is to Japan. And you can find some really cool stuff over there. And this is a lot of their stuff's expensive because they always come out in hardcover. They call them albums. And they're hardcover, and they're usually big. They're bigger than comics. And they're hardcover. They're usually like 48 to 64 pages a piece, and they're usually like 10 to 15 bucks a pop, or they can be expensive. So a lot of people, if you're just in a comic, like a lot of Americans overlook them, but there's some good stuff. And here you're getting a lot. Look at these. You're getting full for the minimum tier of $1. Now remember, this is Humble Bundles pay what you want, so they're hoping you'll pay more. This goes to charity and stuff, but minimum of $1, you get volumes 1 through 3 of Aftermath, volume 1 through 3 of Armies, volume 1 through 2 of Clockwork's Foligato, whatever this is, 1 through 3 of Offworld Blues, 1 and 2 of Orion's Outcast volumes, and then Retina volumes 1 and 3, just for $1. Like less, a quarter of the price of a single comic. And you can go here and read, you can click on them and they'll tell you. I think Orion, this is one that I was actually interested in. And a lot of times these books have really gorgeous art. And especially if you like sci-fi stuff, a lot of like fantastic worlds, these books provide that, as you can see. Oh, look at this. Uh-oh, not for kids. Not for kids. Close your eyes, Maranya. Not for kids. So yeah, that's it. So that's the $1 tier. Now, if you up your donation to at least $10, you'll get all that plus 1, 2, 5, 8, 10, 14, 17, 18, 23, 26, 29, 33 volumes of more books. This one looked really cool to me. Book of Chaos. Sounds really neat. Just gorgeous art in these books. And just very different kinds of stories. So that's a lot. And that's just for the $10 tier. Like it says, it's the $909 value. So that's if you added all these cover prices up, you'd be spending almost $1,000. And then if you up your bit to at least $18, you get all these other ones too. Like Before the Inkall. I want to read the Inkall series by Mobius and Jodorowsky. Another one that I've been really wanting to read is the Metabaron series. Of course, it's on the highest tier, but look at the art on Metabaron. Just freaking phenomenal. Just, you don't get American comics like this. I almost picked the Metabaron up on Comixology once. There was a sale. It was like 99 cents a volume. And I think there's like 6 volumes. I was like, I missed it. So, but that's, 6 volumes. So, yeah. And Alejandro Jodorowsky was a big partner with Mobius. Anyways, you either know about this stuff or you don't. Super deal. Great sales. Anyways, I like to share that stuff with you guys. I know some of you are like, who cares, Ash? But some of you like to buy comics still. Some of you do. Eric says, of course Ash doesn't like Nova. Shaking my damn head. Of course. Snatch Face says, white guilt sale. Oh my God, Ash. Yep, it is. It's a white guilt sale. If it were really a Black History, we would be actually teaching Black History, where we're not. It's really like, give more attention to Black people because you feel guilty, white people. Let's see. Richard Rider Nova is great. Sam Alexander Nova is a ripoff of Jamie Reyes. Whatever. It's a dude in a dumb helmet. That's all I know. They only get attention the shortest month of the year. I don't know, man. The last 12 months has been pretty much not Black History, but I guess February is Black History Month, and all the other months are like Black Riot Month. Is that how? Oh, okay, God, I just got canceled. Shit. Nova is a no-go to me, says Rania. Literally, that's what it means in Spanish. Don't. Doug says, I prefer the Inhumanoids. Computer Robot says, hey, Ash, is California, California, a fascist state now? You know, I have to ask every month on the state of how California is doing. Well, California has been a fascist state for quite a long time. So, yes. Ronnie says, Eric, if you see Jerry before I do, please thank him for me. I got the book, and it's gorgeous. Let's see. Zach says, wowza for some reason. Zach says, I'll have some extra money to spend on comics now that I'm done with Star Wars. It took you this long to be done with Star Wars? Really? You have a high tolerance level. Eric says, whatever. You're a dude who reads stories. Is he talking to me? I can never tell. Sometimes Eric's insulting me. Sometimes I don't get it. Tonight's comic is The Adventures of Captain America, Sentinel of Liberty. Brought to you by Heineken Premium Malt Lager. Oh, it's a malt lager. I didn't know there was such a thing. Heineken has actually no sponsorship of this channel, but they can still bring it to you anyway. Established in 1873, exactly 1 century before I was born. Wow, that's almost as old as Eric. Eric, do you remember when Heineken? What was it like before Heineken was around? Just kidding, just kidding. Don't get your panties in a wad. What are we going to talk about now, Ash? Well, it's a good thing you asked. Let's go over to the Discord. So, I have this thing called a Discord channel. Information's in the description below. And you can see people come here and they actually post things. So I was going to see what's going on. Zach says, Marvel's about to bring back the OG Defenders. I say I don't know how with current continuity being what it is, but then I remembered this is modern day Marvel. You hope for a fleeting dream that you can never return to, says Ryuk224. Nice. I hope for nothing. I just thought it was interesting. You fool! Oh, we get some nice banter going on. But you hit the nail on the head, Zach. It doesn't matter. Like, they can do it because nothing matters at Marvel. So the whole question, like, how's that going to work? Oh, they'll just do it. They don't have to explain anything. They'll just pull it out of thin air. Any comments? What's going on in the world of DC? Not much talk on DC, surprisingly. Computer Robot says, anyone watch the Superman and Lois trailer? Look at that. 1042. Computer Robot just posted. Is Computer Robot in the stream? Yes, he is. Why is he's typed? People are typing in here right now. It's funny. You guys are in the stream with me. You don't have to type in the Discord right now. That's very funny that you mentioned that. Let's take a look at the official trailer for Lois and Clark.
Our dad told us all these stories about growing up here.
Tell you it sucks?
Actually, I think he...
Now, I have not watched this trailer yet, but I've seen the stills. Let's see if we can up. By the way, here's the thing, if you can see on the screen. On your YouTube videos, if it's ever looking like not clear, and you go down to the options, and it'll say like, oh, look, HD, auto, 1080p HD. If it says auto, don't trust it. You have to go manual. Doom. There we go. So, I've seen the stills. This Superman is the worst Superman ever. Wait, why is it? Oh, it's because I went full screen. How do I? Oh well, you're gonna see part of it cut off because I have the screen adjusted so it doesn't show the chat stuff. Anyways, this Lois is like the most bitchy looking Lois they've ever cast, and this is the most like beta male, non-manly, weak-chinned Superman that they've ever cast.
Kind of loved it.
We came here as a family.
Came here as a family? What do you mean he came here as a family?
It's too dangerous for them to know.
It's more dangerous
Too dangerous? What to know what?
if they don't.
You're Superman? No, we've seen Superman before. We've seen him.
You told the boys you're Superman.
Couldn't lie to them anymore.
This is
The boys. He's got two boys? Oh, what the F? And who's this chump that knows does everyone know he's Superman?
I'm gonna keep my family together.
Clark, he's gonna tear it apart.
Who is this kid? Please don't tell me that's Jonathan Kent.
all the times you were gone. You lied to me. You both did.
Oh, God.
I can't just abandon the world.
The world will always need Superman.
I don't know what to make of that, but I have to pause it occasionally because, copyright stuff. So if I show brief little clips and I do talk over it like this, I guess I have free, fair use rights because I'm being transformative with the content.
Right now, this family needs you more.
Superman and Lois, 2-hour premiere event Tuesday, February 23rd. Stream free next day only on the CW app.
Well, sorry, RDV says quit pausing. You have to. I explained why. Sorry. You guys can watch you look at Computer Robots put the nice video here in the Discord for you to watch as many times as you want without pausing. You can come here and watch it. But if I'm going to play it on YouTube, I got to do that. What do you guys think? That's the first time I've seen it. It's not as horrendous looking as I thought. Still don't know who those two damn kids are. I'm assuming one of them is probably Jonathan Kent, and the other one's who? Some blonde hair. Why is he a blonde hair? What's going on? I don't understand. Ash is an asshole. Thanks, RDV. Ed says that's General Lane. But did General Lane know that Clark was Superman? I didn't think so. Computer Robot says yes. In this show, Superman and Lois have two sons. But why is one blonde? They're both dark hair. They're both. And yes, one of them in the show is John. No, it's got to be the curly-haired emo kid, right? Is John Kent? Why didn't you tell me? General Lane knows that Clark is Superman. Only in the Bendis bullshit. He didn't know that before. That's only because he had Lois go tell Superman's identity to everyone. Oh, actually, then Bendis just had Superman reveal his identity to the world. I forgot. Comics are so messed up. 2-hour premiere event. Sounds high budget. Gotta say, the budget stuff does look decent. Just, they're able to do stuff a lot cheaper now and easier. So the TV stuff you can I'm watching The Flash right now, and The Flash is 7 years old. that TV show, and they're doing some pretty cool effects on that TV show occasionally. Especially for like a CW TV show. I'm like, wow, this is pretty impressive. But oh my God, that show makes me cringe so much all the time. I just watched an episode where, I just started season 2, so I'm not very far. No spoilers on Flash. And Barry is dating that new girl that's his dad's partner, or his adopted dad's partner. I forget her. Patty is her name, I think. And they have this conversation where, I swear to God, all I could hear was our boy Zach. You know, if you go watch his videos, and he's always like, I love the science, I'm doing sciencing things. There was a conversation that literally happened like that, where Flash is talking to her, and she's like, what were you doing? He's like, oh, I was doing science stuff, because, you know, I love the science and stuff, and seeing how the science, you know, like, he was just, I was like, I can't even replicate it because it was so absurd and nonsense. I was like, all I could hear was Zach, like, his voice, where he does, I love the science. It's like, damn, who wrote this? You guys have a whole writer's room, and you literally wrote Flash saying I was doing science stuff because I love the science and the stuff that science is, or something. I was like, what? Oh God. RDV says Patty was cool. She was way cooler than Iris, says Zach. Amen, guys. I swear I'm having the hardest time watching this show because I hate Iris. I hate her almost on a Kate Bishop level. That character is such a fucking bitch. I want her to die. How did they turn Iris West into such a bitch? And then I'm supposed to believe that Barry Allen's all in love with her? Like, what? Dude, no. God. Everyone tells me, oh, Ash, you should watch The Flash. That one's like the good show of them all. And I'm like, all right. And now, to be fair, I'm watching it with my buddy and his kids because his daughter loves The Flash. Like, she's already seen all the episodes, and she wanted to watch it and have the family watch it. And so I'm like, okay, we'll sit down and watch it. And I am enjoying it. There's enjoyable things about the show. There's some fun stories and so forth. I think the actor that plays the Flash does a pretty good job. But this Patty character comes on the show, and instantly, I was like, by the second episode that she was in, I even remember exclaiming out loud. I was like, it's only been 2 episodes, and I already like this girl way better than Iris. And the whole time I'm watching, I think to myself, I'm like, this is what Iris should have been. This character should be Iris. They could have just cast this actress, by the way. They didn't need to race swap Iris. Is bullshit. They could have cast this like, just the chemistry, the attitudes, and the behavior of Patty feels more like Iris to me. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't understand. And they keep doing this damn fucking love triangle bullshit. And for whatever reason, why Iris likes Eddie Thawne more than Flash. And then Eddie's dead. I'm sorry, I'm spoiling stuff up to my level. This is only the first season. I asked you guys not to spoil, but that's my show. I'm talking to you guys. And then Eddie's dead, and I was like, you motherfuckers, you killed Eddie. So, and I know, because I know Flash ultimately ends up with Iris. Like, I just know that's going to happen because that's how the comics are. So I'm like, this is stupid. Only people who've never read Flash comics or anything don't know this. So maybe they're in some sort of suspension of just, I don't know, but I know. I'm like, I'm just waiting for the inevitable. So now I'm thinking, okay, so now when they finally get together, you're going to tell me that Barry Allen is basically second fiddle, that he ends up with Iris because Eddie's dead. And so he only gets the girl because the guy she really wanted died, the actual hero. I'm like, These fucking writers are more. It's like, is Bendis in the writing room? I swear it's awful. It is. Some parts are awful. Not the whole show. I did enjoy the arc of Yellow Flash or Reverse Flash. I liked some of the plotting and scheming and his agenda to like get back in time and wondering why he's really against Barry. And now we're in the second season and they've introduced Zoom, and I like that stuff. And some of the characters are fun. The Cisco character is growing on me a little bit. He was really annoying in the first season, but he's starting to come into his own. And I'm like, okay. And like I said, like I like Patty. I know she's got to die because Barry's not going to be with her. And if they just have like an amicable breakup, I'm going to be like, motherfuckers. Like, no, she needs to die horrendously so that Barry and Iris can get together and they can both be each other's second fiddle. Because the writers in the show. Ugh. Anyways, I just had to vent to you guys. Thank you for listening to me vent. RDV says, CW doesn't ruin anything. Always commenting on CW ruined the Powerpuff Girls. Berlanti is poison to superheroes. Yeah. Dean Cain version and Smallville are far superior to this garbage, says Melissa. Well, I haven't seen the show, Melissa, but it doesn't look hopeful for the Superman. I am going to give it a chance. It does not look like the garbage of Batwoman, thankfully. But the actors that play Lois and Clark, they just have this sort of like bitchy sort of attitude. And I just don't like it. As a Superman fan, I look at them and I'm like, no, you don't, no. I can't. That's the worst Superman casting ever. Eric says, Iris is a wonderful character and the epitome of today's strong women. Something we don't see nearly enough in the TV of 2021. Yeah, you're right. I was commenting to my buddy and his son and everything because they don't read comics or Flash or whatever. And I was like, telling him why I liked original Iris. I was like, she's such a refreshing character because she's just a good woman who's a good wife and supports her man. Like, I was like, there's none of this bullshit sneaking around, meeting Lex Luthor, type of stuff. There's none of this. She believes in Barry and so therefore makes Barry better. And man, that story that Josh Williamson wrote towards the end of his Flash run, he did that Flash Year One story. It's not an epic like Batman Year One, but it was a fun story and it gives you the origin and his take on how Barry and Iris meet and how Barry is kind of stumbling and he doesn't necessarily believe in himself. And he doesn't have his mom anymore. His dad's in prison. And I, as a guy who grew up without a father and under a single mother and stuff, I can kind of understand the confidence issues that Barry had and how Iris is almost like fearless and sets an example for him. But she's not fearless in like a woman way where she just goes around kicking ass. She's just fearless and because she just knows she needs to do the right thing. And she's not going to let the possibility of failure prevent her from acting. And I just love the way that Josh Williamson told that story. And it was just, like I said, it was so refreshing on how they came together and it was no bullshit. They just fell in love. I was like, oh yeah, men and women do that. Forget. You don't need all this, intricate, complicated love triangles and all this drama before they finally realize that they were made for each other, that shows like CW have to do. Like, you don't have to do that. Let's see. RDV says, hold my beer. I'm going to spoil 5 seasons of Flash in under 5 words. I'll boot you. Triple dog dare you to do it, RDV. No spoilers. In case your stream was cut off, Ash, bye. Says Melissa. Ooh, you better not triple dog dare me. I'll do it. Will Melissa Harris ever forgive CW for what they did to Batwoman? We'll find out in 10 years. Legends of Tomorrow is a low-budget Doctor Who ripoff. Well, Doctor Who is a low-budget Doctor Who ripoff, so what are you going to say about that? Let's see. Legends of Tomorrow is better than the current Doctor Who, plus Legends has been fun since the beginning. I don't know anything about Legends. Computer Robot says, I would like to meet Ash's biological father. Unfortunately, that's not possible. So, again, I have reached the end of the chat. We have watched Superman Lois trailer. Now it's time to read some good comics. Sorry. Had to clear my throat. Get a drink. Let's get it on. Nalo's in the house. Yo, yo. Ed says, I'm here, son. Hardy V says, Ash, I am your father. No! That's not true. That's impossible. It's literally impossible. Because RV's younger than me. All right, no more stalling. No more stalling. We're here to read really good comics. Oh, and I have the wrong screen up. Why didn't you tell me, RDV? Captain America. Now, in case you missed the last episode, stop what you're doing, go watch it. No, this is basically Captain America Year One. If this was made by DC, that's what they would have called it. This is the origin story of Steve Rogers as Captain America. It takes place in the 40s. America has not got into the war yet, but the military kind of knows that they're gonna. And in the first issue, Steve was given the super serum. Jesus, he was take 5. Steve was given the super soldier serum, and then the Nazis showed up and they killed the scientists, and you know how the story kind of goes. Meanwhile, Steve's hiding. The military is keeping Steve kind of hidden as a regular GI at a base, so the Nazis can't find who he is because he's not really ready to be put into action, trying to keep a low profile. But Steve got to do the right thing, and he caught some people doing the wrong thing, so he intervenes. What? Why does it say leave site? No. Oh, Jesus. Sorry for this. Comixology likes to just randomly sign me out. I'm all prepped. You saw the comic book was up there, and then it's like, nope. Sorry. Here we go. The Adventures of Captain America, Sentinel of Liberty. Betrayed by Agent X. Book 204. Oh, yeah. The last panel of the last book was a man coming from behind Steve with an axe. Literally this frame. Huh? Clash! Steve brings his arm up, just barely blocking in time. Gun goes off. Ah! Judd! I got him! I got him! Did you see that? Hey, he ducked. Judd. I find that funny. He gets elbowed, and then he ducks. Then he ducks and his It's kind of a weird panel. You don't see it at first. It's like, here's the after image up here, and you can see it just goes straight down. Whoop. I find that funny. You want someone gotten? You gotta get him right. Uh-oh, he's got a gun. Blam, blam, blam. Steve pulls out a giant box to block it all. Cthulhu? Yeah, good. Shoot the box to pieces, Smitty. This is getting a little out of hand. Let's see how well all my training's paid off. Whoop. Chunk. I love these sound effects. Now are you boys ready to say uncle? Crack. I got him. Hold him down, Joey. Ouch. Ouch, my face. Boom, pow, thou. Kick him where it hoits. That's enough. Kapow. Sock of that. Crunch. Hey, I did it. If they're out cold, how am I going to get any information from them? What's this? A packing slip. This is for the materials they stole from Camp Lehigh. Weapons, machine parts, lots of stuff. Why are you stealing ordnance supplies from the camp? Who are you planning on selling them to? Drop dead, Joik. Maybe you didn't understand. Who? Why? We selling it for the big dough. A kraut bun group outside of Washington, and he's gonna deliver them tomorrow night. Shipyards at the Woodbridge. Now what are you gonna do with us? That should hold them until I can make an anonymous phone call to the police. All in all, not bad for my first mission. Gonna have to lump off my head of the size of a grapefruit, though. Still, that teaches me to stay alert and not get cocky. I won't let myself get caught from behind again. Starting tomorrow night. Before the night comes, Private Rogers must first get through the rigors of a long day in boot camp. Dismissed! Finally. I have to make my daily call to Colonel Fletcher. I wonder if I should tell him about last night. Then again, loose lips sink ships. I'll keep mum. Colonel, it's Steve. Good afternoon, Private. How are things going? The usual exciting day in the Army. Rise and shine. March a little. Delicious food. Shine my boots. Nothing out of the ordinary, then? No. Why do you ask? No particular reason, Rogers. No particular reason at all. He's reading a newspaper. Headline, Smugglers Apprehended by a Masked Man. Now, that was odd. Could he suspect? Nah. Besides, what did I do wrong? I caught a group of smugglers, and tonight I'm going to nab their German contacts. They can't turn me into a Superman and expect me to do nothing. For the first time in my life, I feel like I can take matters into my own hands? What the? Fork 'em over, snot-nose, or we give you a fat lip. The smokes you promised are our money back. Boys, relax. I told you yesterday I had some problems with my suppliers, didn't I? And that's what you said last week, too. And the week before that. Boys, You have to understand the position I'm in. My driver, the one who gets me the good stuff at a great price. A saving I pass along to you, by the way, has suffered a terrible personal tragedy. His daughter, his little angel of light, was brutally struck down by a car. Horrible. Horrible. The doctors, they don't know if she's going to make it. My driver, as you can well understand, is devastated by all this. What can I do? What? Force him to leave his little girl's bedside because all of you want cheap cigarettes? You wouldn't want me to do that, would you now? Would you? You lying little double-crossing good-for-nothing snot-nose. Hey, Max, we got company. Excuse me, guys. Does this belong to one of you? There you are. Finally! Why didn't you call? How's your sweet girl? She's dead? How horrible. Where are the smokes? You didn't bring them? You lost a shipment? You got pinched? Oh, great. What do I tell these guys? The things I have to deal with. The kid is totally turning over Cap as the contact. Boys, I'm going to have to straighten this out. Excuse us for a minute. Now let's see what kind of damage you've done, you lummox. Geez, what are this guy's arms made of? Cement? You mind telling me what just happened? Shh, shh, shh. I'll get right back to you, boys. Just give me a minute. Whew. Boy, was that a close one or what? Should someone your age be selling cigarettes? Stop the press! I just got rescued by the Pope. I'm not the Pope. You're not? Whew, I'm absolved. Listen, a guy's got to do what he can to make a buck in this world, right? Let me buy you lunch in our lovely mess hall. Rogers. Private Steve Rogers. James Buchanan Barnes, at your service. But everyone calls me Bucky if they know what's good for 'em. You're that camp mascot I've heard about. Mascot? Mascot? What am I, puppy dog? I provide an invaluable clerical service to this base and, in turn, the entirety of the United States Army, mister. Now let's eat it or beat it. Top of the morning, Major. Bucky. Later that night, all seems quiet at the shipyard of Woodbridge, Virginia. But in the perilous world of smuggling, quiet is synonymous with trouble. Quiet, quiet. Whew. Got past the night watchman. Now let's see what we can see. Bingo. Even though I stopped that shipment of smuggled goods last night, these bundas still have enough to go around. Blam. Backing up. Boom. Oomph. My arm. Was I hit? Don't. Boom. Sparks. Screech. Wait. You're dragging a crate with ordnance in it. It's sparking. Stop before it. Boom. The explosive finish to the Bundes operation causes quite a stir. Everyone is trying to find out more about the masked vigilante. Rise and shine, Rogers. Rise and shine. Newspaper reads, Masked Man strikes again. What? Oh, Bucky. Hey, what you do to your arm? Did those guys from the motor pool come after you? If they did, I'll help you take care of them. No, I tripped and cut myself. How manly. Guess I picked a real bruiser to be my bodyguard, didn't I? I guess we can't all be as exciting as this masked vigilante running around. Masked what? Oh, wait, I got the bubbles wrong. This damn old lettering. Rewind. Take 2. I guess we can't all be as exciting as this masked vigilante running around. Masked what? Jeez, don't you keep up with current events? A real mystery man, hero type, has busted some Nazi smuggling operation as 2 nights ago. It's 2 up. I need more beer, obviously. Geez, don't you keep up with current events? A real mystery man, hero type, has busted up some Nazi smuggling operations 2 nights in a row. Let me see that. Wherever this guy is, he's the cat's meow. I have to get something from my bunk. What? Oh, yeah, sure. Boy, can I pick 'em. Big and dumb. I have to get rid of my mask and jacket. If anyone finds out about my little midnight forays. Whomp. Oh. Missed you at bed check last night, Private Rogers. Sergeant Duffy, I can explain. I don't know what you are, or what makes you think you're so special, Rogers, just because you got handed to me in a big black government sedan, but I can assure you that you're no better than anyone else in this man's army. You understand, Private? And by the way, there's a government car here for you now. There is? I don't know if you're some pansy-ass spoiled brat, Rogers, but that don't mean that you can't follow the rules and regulations just like everyone. They know. They know I'm in hot water now. Huh? Hello, Steve. Cindy? Hi, how's it going? What brings you here? General Phillips wants to see you. Does he now? Do you? Huh? What? An awkward silence fills the car on the way to the Office of Civilian Defense in Washington, D.C. I've blown it. Completely. Totally. I'm an idiot. Good afternoon, Private Rogers. Good afternoon, Colonel Fletcher, General Phillips. Rogers, I'd like you to meet the Army's Director of Information, Emil Gruber. He's the reason you're here. How'd you do? We've talked about your situation a lot, Steve. Yes, quite a lot. Matter of fact, you actually helped us come up with the final solution. Yes, you did. A little dramatic, maybe, but there's potential here. Lots of potential. My drawings? How could you... If that was me in the drawings, Private, I must say you flatter me. So we took your germ of an idea, a germ really, and I guess we turned it into a full-blown disease. Just kidding, really, a joke. Our basic line of thought here, Steve, is if you're going to do it, you might as well do it right. Yeah, boy. Now, mind you, Rogers, I'm still not overly fond of this idea myself. It'll be great, great! The Krauts will keep trying to demoralize us with wave after wave of propaganda. Waves, I'm saying. Now we've got one of our own. A tidal wave, I think. What we're asking of you here, son, is going to be very difficult. But, sir, we are asking you to be more than a man, Steve. We're asking you to become a symbol. Every man, woman, and child will have their eyes glued to every move you make, every word you speak. But not you, Steve Rogers. That's not who you are going to be. Wait, sorry. But not you, Steve Rogers. That's not who you're going to be to them. You're going to be America. Time out. America needs to be a Hispanic, and she needs to be a woman because there's way too much patriarchy. So America obviously is a woman. Now and forevermore, you'll be a symbol of what's good and right and true about this great land. And we get to try you out on a sure thing. Word has it that the Bundesring who was running that material out of the Camp Lehigh is going to be trying to nail one of the military prosecutors trying the case. You're there, Stevie-O. You're our man on the spot who's hot to trot. We don't want that prosecutor going nowhere. So later, pop, pop, pop. What the hell was that, Private Hodge? Beats the hell out of me, sir. I mean, I don't know, Captain Fine. Metal barbs? What's the meaning of this? You are coming with us, Herr Fine. How did you know I'd be taking this route? We have ways of knowing much of what you are doing, mein Herr. Indeed, you would be very surprised. I'm sure. Oof. Was ist kapow? Nice try, goose steppers. But America can take whatever you dish out. Ba-shing. Can you say the same? Crump. Fuck. Auf ein. Christus. Bow. Stop yelling so much, Dud. That wraps up the would-be assassins. Now all we need to do is find their inside man. The one who tripped them off to the route the prosecutor's car would be taking. That can only be you, couldn't it, Private Hodge? How'd you know my... Click. Wait one moment. What's going on here? Do you mean to tell me my driver is a Boone spy? Where did you come from? Where are you going? I have to file a report on this, you know. Who should I say I have to thank for saving my life? Call me Captain America. Nice. Nice. Let's get to the chats to see. I promised myself I would do more of this. Flash suit will be perfect when it fits Iris, who has to lose about 20 pounds of booty first. She doesn't have that much of a booty in the show, at least not by the second season. I mean, as far as figures go, I mean, Iris is an attractive girl in that show. She's just a bitch. I hate her. Zach says, yeah, we're not in communist Russia. No more Stalin. I'm not sure what that was for. Kabir says, well, then, if it's possible, I'd like to meet Eric Breen's ex-wife. What? Where did that come from? Say super soldier serum 3 times fast. It's easier to say when I'm reading the words. For whatever reason, man, they were just jumbling up in my head. Super soldier serum, super soldier serum, super soldier serum. When I see the words in front of me, I can follow along. When I was just trying to make it up, I don't know, getting all dyslexic. Ed says, I'm a human. RDV says, CAPTCHA. No. Oh, that must have been when I was trying to log into Amazon. God, I hate those CAPTCHAs. Or was I logging? I don't know what I was doing. Doug Johnson says, it's the Axeman. Steve Rogers has been canceled. Oh, crap. Incoming bullets. Holds up the loose leaf paper to deflect bullets. Marani says, man, I miss thought balloons in books. This book is proof of using them correctly. Yeah, I miss thought balloons too. One of the great things about books over television and movies, for the most part, is the ability to hear the thoughts of the characters. The books can get into the head. And comics did it that way through the thought balloon. Books sometimes will have characters thinking sort of out loud to the audience, but oftentimes you'll just have the third person narrator of the book. The book will tell you what the character is thinking. But either way, books really can get into the heads of characters, and I think for me, oftentimes this makes it a superior form of storytelling. Comics, I don't know why comics got away with or went away from that. They went more towards like the movies and TV. It's like cooler to just only have the dialogue. Comics should only do what TVs and movies do, because otherwise it's silly. The more and more I see modern comics, the more obvious it gets that this industry was handed off to people who did not like the medium. And we're just like, oh, I got a job, okay. And they wanted to transform it into something else because they didn't like what it was. And that's really sad. Let's see. Yes, this is definitely the artist who drew the Justice League. The impressions are reminiscent. Oh, yeah. Kevin Maguire definitely did some Justice League. Computer Robot says, okay, guys, gotta go. I feel sleepy right now. Take care, everyone. What? Robot? You're not. Robots don't sleep. What are you gonna miss? Well, I got some message that the chat was disconnected. Apparently it came back, though. Besides, the idea of robots is that you're supposed to just listen while you're in bed. You can take your phone with you, and I can lull you to sleep with the dulcet baritone of my voice. Let's see. He's playing the dopey jock purposely. Yep, that's what he was supposed to do. He was ordered in the previous issue so you could stay undercover. I still think that Cindy is a German mole, says Marania. RDV says, me too. Where's Peggy? I honestly can't remember if she's a mole or not a mole. It's been so long. Listen says, it was Bucky who would grow up to be the Winter Soldier and briefly replace Steve as Cap when he presumably died after Civil War. That is true. That did happen. What do you guys think of this iteration of Bucky? I really like this. That he's a camp mascot that Cap met in the military. Not the whole childhood friend that Steve looked up to, and then he became the strong one. Then Bucky had to look. That worked okay, but I kind of liked. I don't know. That way worked okay too. Maybe they did that so they didn't have the. I'm not sure which is the authentic one, but this way feels more the classic. Sidekick that Bucky originally was. Snatchface says, Ash, have you already done The Boys? I'm reading The Boys, but I have not done it on the channel. And I probably won't, because The Boys is pretty... It's very violent and very... it's violent and it's very, let's just say it's very adult. It's like too much for my channel. But I encourage people to read it if that's something they're into. That's a really good comic series. All right, speaking of comic series, I'm going to get back to the reading. Call me Captain America. In the weeks that follow, a fighting hero for the American people emerges on the scene. No one knows who he is or where he came from, but there is one thing the country is sure of. They have found themselves a symbol of liberty. They have found a hero named Captain America. Gestapo headquarters in Berlin. Erschadel? Erschadel, Agent X has reported in. The operation has proven to be a success. I know, Lieutenant Schelling, I know. Relay a message to our American operative. Look at that classic Red Skull face. Sir? Agent X is to proceed with the next stage in the plans. As you wish, so shall it be, sir. The Washington, D.C. offices of General Phillips 3 months later. Attention! As you were. So what's the timetable, Colonel? Rebirth is just ready to go, General. Rogers, Lieutenant Glass and I are on the way to meet with the lab boys. We'll see how much of Erstein's material they've pieced together. And here's the late lieutenant now. Where's Rogers? Maybe he'll meet us there, sir. I was just running a final check on our route. There have been rumors of Nazi activity surrounding the restart of Rebirth. What are they gonna do now? Don't be so tense, Jimmy boy. Luck is finally on our side. I hope so, sir. By nature, I just tend to worry the most when things start to go right. I'll call you from the lab, General. Wait, I thought that was the General. Oops, read it wrong. Oh well, you guys got the gist. Car's driving away. Car 1 to radio checkpoint. Koi, Car 1. Just past checkpoint 1. All clear so far. For shop. Holy Toledo. Screech. What the hell happened, Corporal? Behind us, sir. We got trouble. Achtung, Achtung. We are das Vernichtungskommandos. Commandos. We serve the Third Reich and the glory of their their Rothschild. I am Blitzkrieg. To my right, there's Sonmorder. I can't do the German. To my left, Die Sauerspurts. Please do not ask for translation. Sorry. I just butcher my way through it. How about you try translating this, you Nazi pansy? Billy, wait. Our first priority is to the Colonel. Yarg! Billy! Oosh. Oh, dear Lord, what's happening? He's getting electrocuted. I'll protect you, sir. The day James Fletcher needs protecting from a bunch of third-rate movie serial villains is the day I... You are Fletcher? Please to be coming with us, Ja? Stay back. Oh. Quite frankly, I had hoped to find this Captain America. How do you say? Like pulling teeth, Ja? Oh well, I guess we can be satisfied with the American Eagle. You're an animal. Jawohl, I am. And your life has just come to an end, mein Herr. Butcher. Gross. Take the colonel and the young lady away. We have what we came for. 30 minutes later, at the frantic offices of General Phillips. Sir, what's all the hubbub about? You're late, Captain America. Our radio show with the First Lady ran a little long, sir. What's going on? The transport to the Rebirth Labs, the transport you were supposed to be on, was attacked. Attacked? Cindy? Lieutenant Glass and Colonel Fletcher? Missing. And 3 very good soldiers are dead. It's my fault, sir. I should have been there with them. How far could they have gotten? We can find them. We can do absolutely nothing until we hear from Secretary of War Stimson. But... No buts about it, son. I've already lost one American hero today. I'm not about to lose another one. What kind of hero am I if I fail my friends? Hey, Steve Areno. Stay, Jake. Listen to the general on this one, eh? I mean, you're too important to get us captured by the Krauts. Of course, Gruber. You need me for your Bond rallies, your radio shows, your Life magazine covers. But my friends need me to save their lives. Okie dokie then. Should be good for a front page. Rogers! Where did he get off to so quickly? The bathroom, maybe? Room. Meanwhile, at an abandoned factory which serves as the underground's headquarters for the killing squad. Let her go. As you were, Herr Fletcher. We do not mean to hurt the young lady. Nein. We merely hope to make your words, how should I say, more amenable to our needs, ja? What are you pigs after? Glory for the Reich, Herr Colonel. Tell us about the missing link in the rebirth process. Go eat your foot, you goose-stepping goon. That's to be expected, nein? Crack. Very well. If the Colonel is to make things difficult for us, so shall it be. And tell the Fräulein, let us begin. Sorry, untie the Fräulein. Let us begin. At that moment, in the holding cell in the District of Columbia military brig. Hodge, I want some answers. Who wired you to turn traitor to your country? And where can I find them? Go tickle yourself with your head feathers, you costume pansy. You don't scare me none. You're no cop, you're no lawyer, and you're no judge. So I don't have to say jack. Colonel James Fletcher and Lieutenant Cynthia Glass have been taken prisoner by a subversive German element, and you will tell me what I want to know. Now. Hey, I know them. The old warhorse and the pretty gal. Whoo, boy, are those ratsies gonna have fun with her. Here he comes. Here he comes. Holy moly, look at the build on him. Hey, Cap, did you get that info you wanted out of the prisoner? At first, Private Hodge was reluctant to talk, but I showed him it would be in his own best interest to confide in me. Get me out of here. Where's my mouthpiece? I've been physically abused. Vroom. Meanwhile, in the abandoned factory, pernicious deeds are afoot. Wake up. American dog, wake up. Yes, that is better. Guten Tag, Herr Fletcher. You may call me Agent X. You don't know what I want to call you. Come now, let us be civil about this. It is very simple, really. You have something we need, and you want to give it to us. How about if I give you this? Puh. Schwein! Crack. We play this game no longer. If you will not cooperate, Lieutenant Colonel, and physical intimidation is ineffectual, then you leave us with no other choice. What are you? No! Not the girl. Leave her alone. What are you? No! Please! Ah! Listen to her, American. Listen. No! Stop! Yeah! Can't see. In God's name, stop! Only you can make it stop. Tell us. Please, help, please don't. Tell us, what is the missing link in the rebirth process? Tell us, or the woman dies. Nice. Let her go, you Nazi animals. Crack thud. The American is escaping. Get away from her. Now. Oh, Lord, no. Chung. Fum. Chunk. Ay! Kommen in. Ach. Crash. Du schwach. I can't. What's that? Du schwach sinnig? It's like, do Schwarzenegger? Do Schwarzenegger? I don't know what he's saying. Off. Thump. Verdammten Ziel. Split. Nein. Thump. What are you? I have. Boom, 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 boom. Stupid goose stepping. Bleep. Whatever it's saying. A lot of weird symbols in there, including a Nazi symbol. Look at that. Look at that. No, don't discharge an electrical blast at the back of the car. Oh, you idiot. You're gonna hit the... Boom! Damn. I think I hit the gas tank. Did I kill him? Don't cough. He escaped. Find him! Lights. What? They'd better have a telephone. Oh, what was it again? 213-555-1668. Come on. Bring. Phillips here. General. Fletcher, where are you? Man, what happened? I don't have much time, sir. I'm in a small roadside diner named Smith's. You know where it is? No, sir. Lieutenant Glass, how is she? Forget about her. She's... Fletcher! Fletcher! To be continued in our next exciting episode. Will Cap make it in time to save Fletcher, or will the Nazis discover the secret of the super soldier serum? Find out next month as Cap's new superpowers are put to the test. You'll see a fighting mad Cap in a blazing battle with a devastating Death Squad. It's an all-out action extravaganza that is designed to go down as one of the greatest fight scenes in Marvel history. Plus, Bucky makes a startling discovery. Cindy is placed in a fiendish death trap. Cap and friends undertake a perilous mission into the heart of occupied France. And for the first time, Cap comes face to face with his greatest foe, the Red Skull. Don't miss the next thrilling chapter. All right. Let's see. Melissa says, before Cap got arrested and replaced by a clone. Oh, man. Snatchface says, too spicy? Yeah, I think The Boys is too spicy for the show. What was the original? That was the original version of Bucky back from the 1940s, where Bucky was the teenage sidekick. I think that's what I was trying to say. Jimmy shows up. He says, hey, guys. Hey, Jimmy, says Marnia. Hello, how you doing, Jimmy? Good to see you. I've come here mid-second to last episode. Wait, I've come on here mid-second to last episode of the entire series of Game of Thrones because I needed a break from Daenerys killing everyone for no reason. What? Oh, Jimmy's basically telling me, that was a hard to understand sentence he wrote there. He's basically saying he's only here because he needs a break from Game of Thrones. So thanks, Jimmy, for telling me that I'm chopped liver. But hopefully you enjoy Game of Thrones. RDV says Ash needs Arnold to read the German parts. That would be helpful. Let's see. Why is Cap's shirt showing off so much skin? Reminds me of those shirts girls wear to show off their shoulders. I don't know. Can't say. Cindy is faking it. He can't see, RDV. Don't fall for it, Fletcher. Ronnie says, yes, she is. RDV says, nothing is better than listening to Ash butcher German words and eating a payday bar. Wait, how do you know I'm eating a payday bar? Snatch says, Ash said Nazi. Someone cancel him. Oh, no, he's right. No! Jimmy, I tried to tell you not to watch past the 4th season. Oh, don't listen to those haters. Game of Thrones is fine all the way through. Just, I don't know why the haters think that after the 4th season it got bad. Now, I'm trying to remember which season it is. I think there is one season that was really hard to get through. It was like, it might have been the 5th season. I thought it was the 6th season, though. There was one season that went, like, just, whoa. It wasn't because it was bad. It just went really dark and down. And it felt like there was no light at the end of the tunnel. And I remember watching through on that. I was like, good Lord, what's going on with this? But I think it has a good payoff. Because I'm a big believer, especially with dark epic fantasy, telling the storyline of like where it always needs to get darker before the dawn. And Game of Thrones needed that. Needed to get really, well, any fantasy. I mean, and so when you have if you can go, when Jimmy's binging it. So when you blast through that season, it's not quite as bad as when you like, all you had was that for like a whole year. You're like, Jesus, I can see why that would stir some people off. But I think one of those seasons, might have been 6 or 7, was one of my favorites. When Jon Snow goes north to rescue some people. I don't want to spoil anything. So I'm be very vague. And shit happens. Like, that was one of the most intense things of TV I've ever seen. I was like, whoa. Let's see. It's not at all, bro. I just really upset that Khaleesi was killing everyone for no reason, so I paused and saw you were on. She's not killing everyone for no reason, Jimmy. She's killing everyone because she's a fascist tyrant. Well, she's not technically a fascist, but she's a tyrant with the same type of mentality that creates fascists. She's a tyrant. She's an elitist. She believes that she is superior to other people. She's born to lead, and when they don't follow her lead, tyrants can't handle that, and they need to die. They need to pay the price. So it's very interesting. A lot of people really rejected that, and I thought it was awesome that they had the balls to make the ultimate social justice warrior be the ultimate villain of the story. I know all the social justice warriors watching Game of Thrones just all cried out, like that one girl thing on the Capitol steps in 2016 when Trump got inaugurated. No! It's like, yep, SJWs are the biggest evil of the world. It was very hard to take for some people. Doesn't the Mandalorian get his head crushed in by the mountain in season 5? Shush, Ed Brewer. Jimmy says every season has been great, even season 8. I'm loving it, but it was a little too much. Snatchface says because it ran out of source material and lost Gurm dialogue. That's why Tyrion went from the smartest man in Westeros to an idiot. I don't know if I went to an idiot. I mean, they did lose some source material, but I mean, I don't know. I don't think the show really deviated after season 3 from the books. So if I don't know, if you like season 4, wasn't really following the books anyway. So it's fine. I really like it. It's still my favorite show. There's nothing that comes close to it. People try to tell me, oh, they hated Game of Thrones, and then they like point to The Witcher or something, and I'm like, you're just fucking high. I just think it's become like a fad to just hate on things. If it doesn't go 100% perfect the way you want it, it's like, oh, that's all the worst thing ever. That's just my opinion. Game of Thrones is still my favorite show of all time. I really, the more I ponder on the ending, the more I like it. I think it's so perfect. I'm really curious to see how George Martin is going to end his books. If he's going to end it differently. Because I just did not see that ending coming, but it's so fitting. It's so like, holy shit. Like you never saw it coming. And it's so, I don't want to spoil anything if someone hasn't seen it. But there were certain obvious cliche ways that the show could have ended, and it would have just so been not Game of Thrones. Like, that's just not the case. I thought everyone had the ending they sort of deserved. They should have named the final episode "You Got You." I don't get that, RDB. Well, she was killing everyone for no reason because she was supposed to free them from the Lannisters, but there were hints from throughout the whole series that she was going to be evil. Yes. Which I will be honest, I didn't pick up on because she's purposely written as a hero. She's a social justice warrior. She goes and she fights for social justice. Now, the show doesn't say it in those words, and I'm glad for it because it's not meant to be like she's fighting for real social justice in the book. She's a character fighting for social justice in her world. And she's a character that, especially in the books, like she has a horrific life. Just it's even worse in the books than it is in the movie. And she has this empathy for other people who have suffered. And so she wants to be their champion and fight for them. But at the same time, she's also a Targaryen, and she's been brought up to believe that they are the supreme beings of the world and that they rule by divine right, and that just like all social justice warriors, like they believe that they are put on this earth to tell other people how to live, and that they should be the ones that are listened to, and everyone else has to submit to them. This is called classism or class rulership or whatever. And some people, like Jimmy says, it was all there all along. I agree. I didn't see it until the last season. And when changes started happening, because I was rooting for her. Daenerys was my favorite. Her and Jon Snow were my favorite characters. And so I was like, yes. I was rooting for her to be, and go the direction that looked like it was going the cliche way. And then you realize that the people weren't going to follow. When she realized that the people weren't going to bend to her, she couldn't handle it. And, it's that whole story that tyrants have. When people follow them willingly, they don't have to exert force. Like, because before she freed slaves, so they were like, we're with you. Whatever you say, we'll do. You freed us. So she didn't have to exert, But when she got to Westeros, they were just like, they looked at her like, what's the difference? How are you different than the land? It's like, and she put them, and plus she was punishing them all for the sins of their fathers. I don't want to go into the whole thing, but I just thought it was like very fitting. Once I go back and reflect on it and see it over, it's like, man, it was there all along, hidden in plain sight. Well, to be fair, if you live through a fire, you would also think you're better than everyone else. Well, it kind of in a way, in a fantasy setting, that they are, because they're descendants from Valeria. It doesn't really, it gets more into it in the books, but over in the Eastern Kingdoms, where Daenerys ends up going on her travels and stuff, there's a part that they don't actually go to where the dragons are from. And the Valerians are a race of beings that tamed the dragons. And one group of the Valerians left, and I don't forget why, but they ended up going to Westeros and settling over there, and like leaving their kin behind. And there was a big cataclysm that happened and destroyed Valeria and all the dragons. So that whole kingdom's like dead and gone. But the only remnants of them is the one clan that fled and went to Westeros. And that clan is what became the Targaryens. That's why the Targaryens have the white hair. And that's why they're like immune to the fire and stuff, because they're not actually Westeros people. And so it's some really interesting world building stuff that the show doesn't get into quite as detailed, but in essence they conquered Westeros. They came over and were like, and it's not like this world, the real world, where all people are generally kind of equal. In Martin's world, the Valerians are better. They can tame dragons. They make the magic Valerian, I don't know if it's magic steel, but it's Valerian steel that can cut through anything, can kill the White Walkers. Like they literally are, but they're all fucking crazy too. So maybe that's a counterbalancing thing. Let's see. As soon as they cut out a Stoneheart, it was over. It proved to be that they weren't in for the long haul. As soon as they cut out Stoneheart. Not following that. I think it was originally going to be like that, but in the books, it's going to be more about making Lightbringer to beat the Whites. I don't know. Now, this all goes to a matter of whether you trust Benioff and Weiss but I saw interviews before season 8 ever even happened. There were some interviews that happened, and people were worried, like, hey, is George Martin's an old guy, he's kind of overweight, he could croak at any moment, so you just never know when someone has a heart attack or something. And they were worried. I was like, at the time, he had 3 books to do still. Now he's down to 2. It's like, you guys are coming up, like, well, you're out of the book territory. What are you going to do? And they said, the interview said, don't worry. Like, we totally understand. We've sat down with George. He's given us an outline of where the show's going. We know the ending. It's all, they got that part. So the ending of the show, according to their testimony, is the ending that Martin has planned. Now, will it all unfold exactly the same way? Probably not. It may not even follow that way at all. Martin could change his mind, or it could have been a lie. But I believed them. I believe that Martin told them, this is where I want to go. And if you read the Game of Thrones books, Game of Thrones is not about the happily ever after ending. It's not an Arthurian mythos story where the true king is going to sit on the throne. It's a story of tragedies. And that's why I think the ending that happens is so fitting, because you're just like, oh my God. I don't want to talk about it. It's pretty cool. I was put in this chat to tell Ash to get back to reading. Well, the reading's done. We read the issue. Jamie said, yeah, she is a tyrant because John didn't love her, and her own people didn't love her as much as John. She is just jealous and petty. Well, yes, all tyrants are jealous and petty. But I do think John loved her, actually. If you watch, John loves her. And I do believe what makes John the hero is that he's able to kill what he loves to save the kingdom. And John gets the ending that he deserves. Like, yeah, I don't want to say too much more. It's already a big spoiler. But yeah, I would disagree that John didn't love her. Now, her perspective may not have been the case, because she was going mad. She had the Targaryen madness. And then, of course, the whole commentary on just being a tyrant. John is my favorite from episode 1, and when he died in season 6, I was so mad. Then he came back, and I'm good now. John is my king. King of the North. Yeah, John coming back was pretty dope. Spoilers. Sorry. This is Ash on Game of Thrones stream. Also, G.R.R. George R. R. Martin. Sorry, Snatchface. That's so obvious now. If you had done it in capitals, I probably would have got it, but I was like, is that a typo? Was he trying to say good? And just, wow, Ed, I don't think anyone has ever said that. I identify with Ramsay? Oh my God. Run! Oh God. If you identify with Ramsay, we can't be friends. Ramsay is my #1 most hated character in all of media and pop culture. He's pretty bad, but he's no Kate Bishop, Jimmy. Come on. It's no Kate Bishop. I'm so glad he got what he deserved, Ed. Says Ed. He's even worse in the books. I stopped reading the books halfway through book 4. I stopped because because what I was doing is I was reading the books ahead of the show. So when the season would start, before the season would start, I would start reading the book. And the first 3 books, the show follows pretty closely. It puts some things out of order, like things happen before other things. For example, I think it's the end of book 2 or book 3. The whole sky door thing, the death of what's her name, the queen, through the moon door. That was like the end finale of, it's either book 2 or book 3. But in the show, they kind of do it like in the middle of the season, and it's not the big. But otherwise, the events happen the way they happen. But after book 3, it really started splitting off. And I was really bummed about the whole Oathkeeper thing and Jaime Lannister. The way it happens in the book, when Jaime gives Brienne the sword, it's so touching and like heartfelt, and it's like the only heroism you're gonna get to see from Jaime, and I love the way it's done in the book, and in the show it's just like, okay, here's the sword, go on. And I was like, man, plus there's some major characters that die in the books that don't die in the show, and then continue to go on and go, wait, well, what are you doing here? You don't have any purpose. You're supposed to be dead. Snatchface says, I really feel like they downplayed the whole Jon being Rhaegar's son. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I could have seen where they went and him making a play for the throne. Yeah, I mean, I can't really argue that. I don't necessarily find it's important, but I could see why people maybe wanted to see more. Well, like I said, we still got the books. That's what I'm happy about, is we got the books. It's what I'm loving about The Boys. I love The Boys TV show. The Boys TV show, way different than the books. But I like that because now I get 2 different boys. And I can love them both. I can have the best of both worlds. I stopped reading the books because I was getting pissed off at what the show was doing. And I was like, I love the show too much. I do not want to be pissed off because I'm like, why did they change this? Why? It's like, I don't want to know. I'd rather just watch the show, appreciate it for what it is, and then like it on its own merit, which I did. It's my favorite show of all time. Now I can go back and I'll pick up the books again. I'm probably going to start over from the beginning because it's been so long. But I'm probably also going to wait a little bit because George's got 2 more books. So I'll probably pick it up again when I hear that he's working on the last book, maybe, because then they're pretty big books. It'll take a while to get through, but I don't want to like read through all the books and then be like, oh, gotta wait for these. I got a lot of books to read. Otherwise, outside of that, Ash on Pokemon should be the new channel name. I don't do anything about Pokemon. I was thinking about getting a House of Stark sigil tattoo. Okay. Yeah, season 1 is extremely faithful, but they start straying pretty quickly. I don't think so. I thought season 2 and 3 were pretty, like I said, other than reordering things around. Wasn't season 3, I think it was season 3, like the big finale of season 3 was the mountain, but in the book it was like happened in the middle. It still happens the same way. But season 4, they started just doing all these different things, and characters were dying that were supposed to live, or vice versa, and there's a major character that comes back from the dead in the story that never comes back. I won't say because anyone that wants to read the books, but there's a major character that dies in the book and the movie or the show, and then comes back as something else, and you're like, what? And the show just is like, ignore that. Let's see. The Boys books are amazing. Yeah, I agree. I do like the Boys books, and they're very different. But I appreciate that, because the more different they are, the less I'm apt, to compare them and be like, why? To me, they're just 2 roughly similar stories that both happen to have the same name. I don't think of them as the same thing at all. I think of them as separate entities. Let's see. I'm not getting Winter is Coming as a tattoo. I think you should get a You Know Nothing Jon Snow tattoo. No, you shouldn't. Don't get a tattoo. Both seasons of The Boys are great. Watch The Expanse. Expanse is pretty good too. For a sci-fi TV show, sci-fi channel TV show, it's pretty good. It's no Battlestar Galactica. That was a great show. Holy shit. But Expanse has the same problem. Season 1 of The Expanse follows the book really close. And then season 2 starts diverging, and then it's just like there. From there, you're like, oh, man. And now they're only going to do 6 seasons, and the book's got like 8 or 9. There's like 8 or 9 books. Like, what do you mean you're just going to stop? Because the way The Expanse goes, the first book, the first season is just like a detective mystery. There's a girl who gets killed, and you got a detective who's on the case trying to figure out who killed her because he gets hired to figure it out. And then you got the crew of the Rosinante, who kind of their path crosses in this whole thing, and they get mixed up. And it's all about big mystery, like set in space, which is like, oh, okay, kind of cool. And first when I was reading the book, I was like, oh, this isn't the series I wanted. I want epic sci-fi, awesome aliens and stuff like that. And there's none of that. It's just a girl's dead and a rich father hires this guy. Then you get to the end of that story, like, oh my God, what the hell's going on? And then you get to the next book, and that series just opens up like a flower. Like, just each book is a new layer of exposing this epic, massive storyline. And if you like Game of Thrones, in that, like, you like the politics and the intrigue that Game of Thrones offers of these different factions, and they're kind of allying with each other, but then plotting against each other, and they're all having their own agendas and things like that. The Expanse has that same thing. Yeah, holy shit. But they're going to stop at season 6. I just don't get it. I don't know how they're going to end it. Let's see. Tech Knight is ridiculous. Don't know anything about that. Can't remember. Did Sam ever get any? What? Okay, I'm going back to finish the finale now. We'll talk later about it, Ash. All right, go enjoy. It is after midnight, my side, so you know what that means. Good night, sweetheart. Well, time to go. Boom, 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 boom. Gonna end the stream. It's been nice talking to you guys. Are really chatty tonight. It's very nice. The stream is way better when you guys are chatty. Get to interact with you. Hopefully you've enjoyed Captain America. This is my favorite Captain America story ever. I really am partial to origin stories in general, especially when they're good origin stories. And I really love Captain America in the period piece. You know, it's like Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones, to me, only works in the Nazi era, when he's running around searching for treasure and there's Nazis. Like, Captain America feels like that to me. There just needs to, and I love the super cool, like, Nazi super powered soldier things. I've always felt like Nazi science is interesting. You know, the pseudoscience, like the crazy shit, and they make for cool villains for Captain America. And I just like that piece, that era. And this story just does a great job of it. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. Yeah. RDB says the showrunners have said they're just taking a pause. Are you talking about Expanse? Because I heard Amazon said this is the last season. So if it's not the last season, then that's a very good reason to celebrate. Hopefully it goes through all of them. Taking a pause is completely fine. Ronnie says, everyone take care, stay safe, and warm out there. Don't let RDB snow dance on you. Indiana Jones versus SJWs. Well, he kind of was. I mean, the Nazis were the original SJWs. See it? He said it again and again. Oh my God, a third. Oh man, I keep saying Nazis. I gotta if I compare the current world to Nazis, I get canceled. I guess I'll never have a Disney show. That sucks. When is season 3 of The Orville coming out? That's a show I need to get back into. I like The Orville. It's fun. Indiana Jones 5. Indy gets Me Too'd. Yeah, taking Indiana Jones out of the Nazi element. I mean, I get Harrison Ford's aging, so they tried doing the whole communist thing of the 50s. I guess with the whole aliens, Indiana Jones 4, I guess, had potential. Really did, but just, oh well. Oh well, I don't know what they're gonna do with Indiana Jones anymore. I think they just need to recast it. I think Indiana Jones just needs a clean reboot. And I love Harrison Ford. The dude's like 80 years old. Like, he can't be Indiana Jones. And I don't want to see Indiana Jones' son or things like that. Like, I want to see Indiana Jones having adventures in the Nazi era, in the 30s. That's Indiana Jones. So recast it. Just reboot it. This is fine. We can all love Harrison Ford. There we go. I feel like I'm reenacting the Knights Who Say Ni. How does that line go? God, it's been so long since I've seen Monty Python Holy Grail. We are the Knights Who Say Ni. Sebastian Stan as Indiana Jones? Maybe. I don't know, Sebastian. I like Sebastian Stan, but I don't know if he's got that swagger. I think what's more important if we're going to replace Harrison Ford is not the look, but that swagger that Harrison Ford always brings. So, fridging has a new meaning in Indy 4. That actually was a kind of a cool scene, I thought. But there was just so much in that movie where you were just like, what are you doing? And then the aliens at the end, you're like, what happened? The movie's not as bad as everyone made out to be. It just wasn't good. It was just sort of there. It was like, oh, okay. Chris Pratt. No. I don't think Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt feels like a wannabe Indy. Like, I love Chris Pratt for playing characters that are inspired by what Harrison Ford did, but not actually the characters. Like, he feels like a knockoff, which is good for characters who actually are knockoffs. Chris Pratt could play like a good Nathan Drake? You know, like those type of characters. Tom Cruise is the next Indy. Let's do it. Yeah, Tom Cruise can do anything. So come on. So I think, I mean, I wouldn't cry if they rebooted it with Chris Pratt. I wouldn't cry. But honestly, if I was Disney, the power of Disney, I would do a massive audition search to find, if you do and just get a new face and do an indie movie, and do the work, the legwork like George Lucas did back in the day. Harrison Ford didn't get the job in Star Wars because he was Harrison Ford. Like, the dude was literally a stand-in to do auditions for the real actors. And it just worked out that he had so much chemistry that Lucas was like, I got to go with you. Like, you're better than, he was like a carpenter on set, I think, or just like he was not a choice. But when you do these auditions, sometimes you find magic where you don't expect it. I think sometimes just going for a big name doesn't work. And like Ed says, Tom Hardy's got swagger. Not the kind of swagger I'm talking about. I love Tom Hardy a lot. Man, I did not think anyone else could do Mad Max. And now I'm just like, hell yeah, give me some more Mad Max Tom Hardy. Like, I loved him as Mad Max. I loved him as Bane. I love him in most everything he's in. But I don't think he can do Indiana Jones. Sorry. Doesn't have that kind of swagger. Tom Cruise is the same age now that Wilfred Brimley was in Cocoon. Wow. Oh, man. Oh, my God. You guys have really made I think I got the most simultaneous like people live in my chat at one time tonight. So that's pretty cool, especially for a Captain America book that a lot of new comic fans look at and go, I don't want to listen to this crap. But I'm not going to delay this any longer. I really enjoyed talking to you. I did want to say actually one thing for the few guys that are here. Steam's having a big sale right now, so I picked up a couple of games. I have been thinking about doing some like live stream chats with playing some games, but only some certain ones. So I have the Telltale Batman, and I just picked up the sequel, and I haven't played him, but I picked them both. So I have the second. I have them both now, and I figured that would be a fun thing to play through for the first time, and like do it with a chat going on, and people get to see the story and get to help make decisions and whatnot. And I just didn't know if that'd be something anyone would want to do. I also picked up another game that I'm very curious to try. If you know me, I'm a big George Orwell fan. There's a game that's called Orwell, where it literally like you simulates you working for the government and picking people out and canceling them. And that would be, I think that would be a fun interactive chat, like game to do with chat, as we're spying on people and deciding whether or not they need to be, the secret police need to come and get them. Anyways, if that would be something, I just don't have any feedback if that'd be something anyone would be interested in doing. But if it is, I might do that and just do like a hangout stream, where we just all shoot the shit, talk about whatever, talk about the game. Yeah. Ronnie says that's how they cast as Superman, Christopher Reeve for Superman. Yeah, relative unknown. They did the legwork. They did auditions and they found the right person for the character. That's the way you should do it. All right, guys. I'm gonna take off now, and I got some books to read, things to do. Ed says he played Orwell. It's okay. Yeah, but you didn't play it Ash's way. I'm just kidding. I don't know how you played it. Tehillim says I'd rather be in game form than real life. No kidding, right? Thank you guys. Thank you. I don't know how to end streams. I just sit here and blather on, so I'm just going to turn it off now. And I will see you Tuesday for issue 3 of 4 of the Captain America Adventures of Captain America: Sentinel of Liberty. So long, and thanks for all the fish.